Here we're on to game 2 of the club tournament I ran, and this time it's my Welsh up against the Vikings again. As for Sacred Ground, I was really hoping this would be the one for me, being all nice and terrainy. That's what the Welsh like. So my Welsh warband is 8 Hearthguard, 8 Warriors, an Enlightened Priest, and 12 Levy with Bow. And my opponent, I'm seeing here, I kind of dreaded this, it's 6 Hearthguard, 6 Hearthguard, 8 Warriors, and 8 Warriors. Yeah, this is not going to be an easy one. I'm starting to notice a big problem with my list, and that was the fact that I've got my Hearthguard in there, and I just don't have, with that and the Enlightened Priest, I've not really got the bodies for some of these missions. So this is how it's going to start up. This is the terrain setup. So we've got a marsh on the left hand side, hill in the middle, and wood on the right. And a quick look at my opponent's force. This is on his my left hand side. His right hand side, he's got 8 warriors, and he's got 6 Hearthguard. He's got a warlord, another 6 Hearthguard, and then beyond the wood on the right, he's got 2 lots of 8 warriors. On my right, I've got 8 warriors. Then I have towards the centre 8 Hearthguard with my warlord behind. It's my priest. Sorry about my thumb in the photo there. He's going to be at the back as ever, praying for 6s to get my battle board working quite nicely. I've got 12 Levy with bows, and then finally some more warriors on the left hand side there, ready to move up into the marsh. So as we're playing this, it's going to be conquer points on the bits of terrain, and you can't score more conquer points in a bit of terrain than higher than the amount of turns we've played. So first turn, my opponent moves up, as you see there. I was looking to move up to the left hand side there and grab that marsh. I'm quite happy in the rough terrain. I get some bonuses being the Welsh. There's also a secondary objective for having your warlord on the hill for the most amount of turns without anyone else there. So I was going to try and push up the centre with my Hearthguard, but with his 12 there, I think I was going to be well outdone. To be honest, I kind of dilly-dallied way too much in the centre there to try and work out what to do about his Hearthguard. Instead there on the right hand side I also moved up with my other warriors, just trying to push into the woods. But again, I've got 8 warriors versus his 16. I'm really struggling to think on my plan on what to do. So at the end of his second turn, as you can see, he's moved up into the woods there, and he's got his anti-shooting abilities down. So he's got 16 units in the woods. He's moving up to the hill in the centre, and the guys on the left hand side there, believe it or not, I actually taunted them towards the marsh. I thought 8v8, me in difficult terrain, that would be ideal. Okay, so on the left hand side there, I move up into the marsh. I was happy there, I could score some points. You can see on the bottom left there, I've already got so much fatigue on my poor priest. I was trying to get some 6s so I could activate all my warriors and levies. So I got them pushed up. The guys over by the trees, I was really struggling what to do there because I'm going to be able to do enough damage to chase him out. What I should have done is probably brought him back to the centre so I can combine all my shooting for my Hearthguard, my Levy and my Warlord and that unit to help hold the centre if those guys want to stay in the trees. Yeah, this didn't go to plan. Man, I taunted these guys into here, and I thought, well, if I taunt them in, I've got the advantages. I've got the ambush one, I think it's called, where you get the 3 extra defense dice, 3 extra attack dice. I thought, you know, the odds are in my favour here. Yeah, I lost this, and so sorry about the weird image there. I don't know why some of these do come up like this, but basically, yeah, I got pushed out of the marsh. So what I basically did was allow my opponent to be taunted into the marsh, to which I was pushed out, and he was then allowed to score some points. Yeah, that was a real crap idea. So I believe this is at the end of his turn, or both of our turns. So yeah, basically he's moved his guys up onto the hill now, so he's starting to score there, so I have to dislodge them. I've been pushed out of the marsh, and overall things are looking pretty cruddy for the Welsh. So over here I get some 2 rounds of shooting in with my Levy, try and get rid of these guys, just and ready so I can charge in, beat the hell out of them with my bonus of an ambush, and finally at least take 1 objective piece. Yeah, crap. That's how it looked at the end of the combat. He went I think he went Valhalla this round and killed off a few of his guys and won the combat. basically pushed me out again. So again, I'm not going to be scoring. Yeah, my opponent has no longer got a scoring unit, which is ideal, but it also means he can just go 8 now and just wipe out my scoring unit. So at the end of the round, looking like this, and if it looks like my Hearthguard and Warlord have moved away from the hill, in fact they had, I was actually quite afraid. Problem with the Vike, they can easily get off a 2-move attack, and oh yeah, I've got the ability to move away from one activation with an M. Unfortunately, I need a 6 for that, and you know, like all the other decent abilities on the Welsh board, I just don't have enough 6s, even with my little priest praying like his little hands off there. So in my opponent's turn, yep, things are looking up. He charges into combat and kills off his 3 guys, and looking back down because he killed them off to use Valhalla to get the extra attacks to make sure he wipes out my unit as well. So there, mutual annihilation there, and oh man, I'm so annoyed with myself. I originally taunted him to come this way. If he would have gone towards the centre, I could have shot him. So, oh man, I taunted him over here. He beat the crap out of me. I've got no scoring units in any bit of terrain at the moment, and he's outnumbering me where he has got scoring units. So I'm really trying to work out here where's the best plan to go in. He's now starting to rack up some score. I need to knock him off and just shoot him enough that I can charge in and destroy them. I mean, he's only got 6-man Hearthguard units. They should be, what, 3 wounds, and they no longer score. Downside is the 16 blokes in the trees. They're going to be a nightmare to shift. As I said, I should have done is bring these warriors over here behind the woods, help support the centre, shoot the crap out of the guys in the middle there, and go from there. So I start with a little bit of shooting and knock off 6 shots and kill off 1 Viking. At this rate, the game is going to be over before I reduce one of these to a non-scoring unit. So hey, shooting. I didn't do it at the end of phase shot there, but I basically move up to this position here, and I believe my opponent then charges me in his turn. I throw some javelins at him. Doesn't do very much. Obviously, kill off 2. That's not too bad. But he charges in his turn. Yeah, crap. Goes another scoring unit of mine, and they're now reduced to 2. So things are looking something like that. Well, to be honest, it's a crapshoot now. I just don't have the manpower to get these guys off. Problem with the Welsh, I'm finding, is I have taken completely the wrong kind of list. But I will talk about that at the end on the last game I play, and just talk about what I think would work better. But basically here now, I haven't got the manpower to push them off, so I'm just going to try and do as many casualties as I can on the hill, and hopefully I'll still try and keep a scoring unit up there. So in I go and fire with my Hearthguard and my Warlord, and do 2 wounds. 10 shots, 2 wounds. I was really hoping for just a bit more, so he's no longer a scoring unit. From memory, what I believe happened here is, because I only did a couple of casualties, I thought another move, I'll chuck my Hearthguard in and finish off that little, what was a 4-man unit, I believe, because I killed 2. So 4-man against 8, and yeah, I did 1, or none actually, looking at it. I think that one of them's fallen over. I did none, and I lost 1 in return. I was like, oh, really? So my opponent's turn, he charges in with his tiny unit, and with his 4 men, kills off 2 more of mine. I only killed 1 of his, so I did actually get 1. It was 1 for 1, my 8 versus his 4. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, he comes in and blats 2 of mine. In the following turns, I charge down to finish them off. He charges in with his Hearthguard. And this is the final picture I had a chance of taking of the game, which was basically I managed to lose all my chaps trying to take the hill, but I did reduce all of his. But obviously my opponent then had his 16 chaps happily sitting in a forest, racking up points, and beat me hands down. So, never mind, on to game 3. So, only 2 more videos, guys, until this prize is given away, and I'll see you on the 40th episode.